So today we're gonna be doing the mid to low taper. Finna be getting started right now with setting in this hard guideline. So as you can see, as I'm starting my guideline, I set it in as a curve because you want to keep a shape. All fades have shapes and they have places that they're supposed to be in the head. And so with starting off with a curve, it allows you to create that shape. And so now from here, we're just clearing everything from under that line we made. We're clearing it out and getting ready to start our fade. And right here, what I'm doing is frame out work. So I'm lining up his C cup first so I know where not to go back. This is basically ensuring that I don't push his C cup back and I keep it where it's supposed to be. And this also allows you to keep your fade in a certain area. Because like I said before, fades have shapes and places that they're supposed to be. And so this allows you to keep your fade in that certain area. And so now here, I'm starting off with no guard, my clipper all the way open, and I'm going up about a finger's width or a half an inch up, and I'm just creating my first guideline. And as you see, I'm keeping the same shape that I made with my trimmers. So that's all I'm doing is I'm following the shape that I made with my trimmers, and I'm gonna keep that going. And as you can see, yes, the line is set in, but I'm going over it more than once just to ensure that every hair is at that desired point. And so now I'm putting on my one guard, and I'm gonna be doing the exact same thing I did with my no guard all the way open, about a finger's width, and we're just going up again. And mind you, this is also one guard all the way open. So when setting your lines in, you don't ever want your clipper to be closed unless the hair is giving you a hard time. That is the only time you will close your clippers. But when you're setting in your lines, you want to set in soft lines. So that's why you always start open. And so now what I'm doing here, what I didn't show y'all in the beginning, is I'm just debulking. So what I did in the beginning was I took a 1.5 guard and I either closed it or I went halfway, and I just went against his head just to make everything a certain length. Especially with dreads, all you have to do is worrying about make sure everything is smooth enough to fade. And after I'm almost done with my fade, as you've seen, I took my same 1.5 and I went up against it just to ensure that everything was down to that desired length. So now what you see me doing here is I've put on my half guard, 0.5, and now I'm taking out the middle line that I created when I did my first guideline with my no guard all the way open. So I start closed and I just inch at it. I go closed, halfway, and then depending on how the fade looks, either I will open it gradually or I'll close it. But all this is doing is creating my gradiency and creating the texture in the fade. To me, this is one of the most important parts of the fade, because this is where your actual fade comes in. This is the part that you want to be the most blurry. So take your time when it comes to this portion. And also, if you notice, I never use my whole clipper blade. I only use the corner of it because, like I said, I'm doing a taper and you want this to be in a section. So if I'm using my whole blade, then there's a possibility that I can get out of that section and mess up something else. So when it comes to tapers, use your corners. Really use your corners, because this will help you create a gradient fade, and it helps you take your time instead of just rushing. And so now what you see me doing is I'm inching at a guideline that your 0.5 will make sometimes. Sometimes your 0.5 can make a very slight guideline, and you can either use your one guard open or your 1.5 closed to take it out. Or just use your barber your barber knowledge and just inch at it till it gets out of there. That's all you got to do. And so now here, I'm now taking out the bottom line. I'm starting closed and I'm just going up gradually. And whatever lines I'm creating while doing this, I'm just gradually taking them out. And I do my fade process like this because it allows me to see my fade and what I'm fading into. Because when you start your fades at the bottom and start taking lines out, you can't put that hair back on. So with this method, it helps you preserve the hair and it helps you create a better fade, and it helps you see what you're doing. Because when you fade from starting from the bottom and just fading up, you don't really know where that end mark is going to be at, and you don't know how the outcome will look. But if you start your fades with debulking and actually taking your time with them and working backwards, you'll be able to actually see how your fade will end up by the time you're finished. So at this point, guys, the fade is done. All I'm doing now is detail work just to ensure that I have a clean fade and that I've gotten every hair. That's all I'm doing. This is just gonna give your client that confidence that you really took your time on their hair and that you actually care about their hair and how their hair looks. That's all this is. And like I said before, it's detail work. It's bringing the cuts together. It's the finishing touches to add that extra pop to your haircut. Now all I'm doing, I'm just gonna hit behind this ear, and the fade is just about done, y'all. So this is how you would do a mid to low taper. If y'all have any questions, you can email me. If you want one-on-ones, you can email me. Just let me know. I got y'all. I'm here for y'all, so just let me know, and we gonna get it rocking.